Islamic economic system. To this day, there's still a misconception that the comprehensive system is only limited to Muslims, a branch of knowledge that has developed over the past 1,400 years. Islamic economic system consists of rules and principles that promote socio-economic justice. It reflects Islamic values which are ethical and faith-based on divine revelations. Islamic economic system aims to achieve economic and spiritual quality of life, which encourage Muslims to strive for prosperity, at the same time to carry out their duty as vicegerents of Allah. By this way, they are constantly reminded that all wealth and reward from this world are meant to be enjoyed, as long as they use the rewards by the limits Allah has prescribed. Although the economic system is not used by many countries in the world, its principles are all inclusive to solve modern economic problems, especially unemployment. Due to coronavirus, the unemployment rate all over the world spiked up in the first quarter. Including Malaysia, the country has been severely affected since the first movement control order in March last year. This problem left negative impacts on many Malaysians, loss of income as well as skills, psychological effects such as depressions, and increase in domestic violence. Workforces has been reduced dramatically this year due to less demand in the economy. This consequently affect the country's economic growth or GDP by 17.1% in the second quarter, the worst since the Asian financial crisis in the 1998. So, what actually causes unemployment to happen?
The unemployment rate in Malaysia is generally low and steady at around 3% when the country is not facing cyclical unemployment. The enormous and continuing outbreak of the virus has become a serious challenge in Malaysia. The economic climate of the country is critically affected as consumer consumption, investment, and the labour market slump. According to the Department of Statistics Malaysia, in the first quarter of 2020, the unemployment rate grew to 3.5% relative to the fourth quarter of 2019, which is only 3.2%. Again, the rise in the rate of unemployment was mostly due to the Movement Control Order, or known as MCO. Out of 15.23 million working population in Malaysia, 2.8 million people were on-account workers such as trader, farmer, and freelancer. These people are the most vulnerable if another MCO is commanded again during these times. Unemployment results from several causes and factors related to an economy. The first cause is change in technology. Rapid changes in technology is driving many employers into diversifying and improving the effectiveness of their workforce. Some of the technology applied replaces individuals in the production process, as some processes executed manually apply through technology. Another factor is low wages. With increasing living costs, many Malaysian workers choose to work overseas such as Singapore and Australia, where they can earn more rather than receiving unsatisfactory wages. Another factor of unemployment is inequality in places of work. Age, sex, social status, race, faith, or ethnic origin may be a cause of discrimination or harassment. It is incredibly difficult to stay in this kind of working environment and can make people search for other jobs. According to a study by Women AIDS Organization, 62% women has experienced sexual harassment in their workplace. The same study also found out that 22% face religion or racial discrimination during the recruitment process.
Unemployment left many impacts toward the society and economy itself. When a person is unemployed, he will lose his source of income. Due to that, he is solely depending on his savings to buy daily necessities and to pay for any debt left such as housing debt, vehicle debt, and maybe some personal debt incurred by him before. From time to time, unemployed people will have difficulties in maintaining their life since they continuously withdraw their savings without adding any additional income. As a result, their assets could be taken away by the creditors since they are unable to pay their debts. This will lead to an increase in the rate of homelessness and poverty. Prolonged unemployment can also lead to the erosion of human capital and skills. There is a probability for their skills used in the previous job or any skills that they learned before erodes due to unemployment. This is because they haven't practiced it for a long period of time. Not only their self-skills are at risk, but their children's future skills could also be affected since they can afford the fees for the education. As the industry is involved more with artificial intelligence and technologies, it's not surprising that there are many high-skilled jobs demanded by the market. Thus, limited access to the education can prevent them from upgrading their future skills and make them underqualified. Reduction in total output produced by an economy is also likely to happen since the economy is not fully utilizing the capable human capital as labor resource for the production. To cope with this, an ideal which is the Vision 2020 was introduced to eradicate poverty and achieve zero unemployment around 3 decades ago by the former Prime Minister Mahathir Mohamad. It also aims to achieve a higher productivity level of production by enhancing the technology and skills of the laborers, especially the lower income group.
Islam is greatly concerned about its adherents' financial status, especially the neediest and poorest group. Unemployment opens a new door to poverty, and it is the reason why Islam strongly encourages to eradicate poverty among Muslims. Regarding the situation, Islam comes with various effective alternatives and principles to help people that was unemployed to ease their way of life before it gets worse. Maqasid Syariah will show how this principle can be utilized to solve unemployment and poverty. The Maqasid Syariah derivative, which is the principle of zakah, could be an effective option to solve the problem, as zakah will ensure to protect one of the elements of the Sharia objective, which is property. The collection of zakah and distributing it to the recipients who are really in need could help them to survive by fulfilling their needs such as consumption of food, access to healthcare and others. These groups of people also can use the zakah given to start Sharia compliant micro enterprises. For instance, they can open a stall in the night market. Zakah also proves its advantage when it provides an alternative source of finance available locally rather than from foreign sources. Besides, wakaf also plays a vital role to eradicate unemployment and poverty. Wakaf typically involves donating a building, plot of land, or other assets for Muslim religious or charitable purposes with no intention of reclaiming the assets. It contributes toward economic growth by creating more job opportunities. Lands that have been donated through wakaf should be developed so commercial centers can be built to help people generate some income. This provides job opportunities to the unemployed and consequently improve their quality of life.
To ensure the people's quality of life, the government holds a big responsibility. The situation could worsen than it is without government intervention. Long-term unemployment will further lead to economic downturn and affect many people's lives. For this particular reason, Bank Negara Malaysia decided to reduce its OPR to 1.75%, the lowest since 2004. With lower interest rates, loans are in demand, whether housing loan, personal loan and even credit card. The government wants the people to increase their spending to restore the financial flow in the economy. Not only by lowering the interest rate, the government also continued the subsidy for its workers earning under 4,000 ringgit monthly. However, it does not end with the central bank's role. At the end of 2020, the Ministry of Finance allocated a budget deficit by increasing the spending. They decided to come up with stimulus packages to help businesses recover from their loss of income. The Penjana Stimulus Package is a great example of how the government helps the small-medium enterprise to digitize their business. Rather than corporations, SMEs are more affected. These people do not have a large retained earning to maintain their business for a long time. Although SMEs are defined by their sales not exceeding 20 million ringgit, they in fact contributed 38% to the country's GDP. At the end of the day, Muslims should remember that even how hard the current situation is, we have to apply the Islamic principles in our life. Instead of applying for a conventional loan with riba, they are advised to choose one that complies with the Sharia. There have been many choices in the market since the central bank decided to introduce an interest-free banking scheme in the 1990s. As of 2020, there are 16 Islamic banks in Malaysia. For whatever the reason is, whether to help the economy boost, Muslims are forbidden to use nor consume interest. The intended result does not justify the means.
The topic of unemployment and Islamic system can be related to Sustainable Development Goals number 8, which is decent work and economy. It aims to promote sustained, inclusive and sustainable economies including full and productive employment. Even though the unemployment trend in Malaysia seemed to be stable in recent years, it proved to be otherwise in 2020. The unemployment rate wasn't added with other causes of unemployment such as low wage, improvement of technology and higher qualification requirements. This leads to other social and economic impacts, increase in social crime and poverty. Therefore, Islamic economic system has provided us the answer in boosting the economy and eradicating unemployment in a fair manner. Maqasid Syariah especially protect life and the poverty of a person. Additionally, redistribution of wealth like zakat and waqaf need to be practiced consistently throughout our life as it creates job opportunities for others. Allah Subhanahu Wa Taala has said, "And give them of the word of Allah which He has given you." Surah An-Nur verse 33. All wealth belong to Allah, and it is our duty to fairly distribute it to the community. The government also holds a big responsibility to regulate unemployment. Policies that will benefit and help the people should be amended, whether in terms of monetary or fiscal policies. Taxes should not burden the life of citizens, nor should be imposed to the poor.